Let's go to the governors of Texas and Oklahoma who are in Tel Aviv right now, Greg Abbott and Kevin Stitt, respectively. Governors, thank you. Why are you there? Do you, Governor Abbott, first?
Listen, we're here to send a message, and that is the state of Texas, the state of Oklahoma, and the United States of America. We stand with Israel. We are very concerned about misinformation across the globe, about what's happening on the ground here. Listen, we just talked to victims in a hospital here in Tel Aviv who looked in the eye, quite literally, of evil, of their attackers who are trying to eliminate them because they are Jewish. Attackers who are so bad that they threw hand grenades into medical tents, hand grenades into ambulances. They care about one thing these terrorists do, the Hamas terrorists. They care about killing Jewish people. That must end in the United States. We need a Biden administration who's going to step up and provide the robust support that's needed to wipe Hamas off the face of the map.
You know, Governor Stitt, this occurs, though, with a backdrop, Governor Stitt, where getting aid to Israel might be stymied in the House. They had the aid only Israel first package that they want to make sure is paid for before they get it out there. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. When we're talking about spending $900 billion in our defense budget and a portion of that going to fight this pure evil, it's going to come to Europe next. It's going to come to the U.S. But I want Oklahomans, I want Texans, I want Americans to understand, basically there are 3,000 very organized terrorist military groups that entered into their country and mowed women and children down. We just heard the stories. Governor Abbott and I are in the hospital right now with 23-year-old girls that were inside a bomb shelter as grenades were launched in on them. So if this happened on U.S. soil, we would be fired up and we would absolutely go after these terrorist groups. And so this is nonsense. This is pure evil, and we need to fight this war. We need to make sure that that Israel has the support of their biggest ally, and that's the United States of America.
Governor Abbott, you've been dealing with obviously a migrant surge of enormous proportions, and FBI Director Wray, as well as other top U.S. intelligence officials, fear that among those sneaking in are those who could harm us and maybe take some inspiration from what Hamas did to Israel a few weeks ago and do it here. How do you feel about that?
Listen, Neil, we're extraordinarily concerned about it. Let's be clear about one thing, and that is 4 years ago, we had the lowest illegal border crossings in 40 years. When Joe Biden came into office, however, he eliminated all of those good policies, and now we have open border policies where this past year, 2.4 million people were apprehended coming across the border illegally. As you know, Neil, that includes the highest number ever of people who are on the terrorist watch list. We're extraordinarily concerned about terrorists in our country. The top job of the commander-in-chief is national security. Joe Biden is failing at national security because he's not keeping potential terrorists out of our country. The FBI Director Wray nor the president have any idea whether or not there is somebody from Hamas roaming around the United States of America who could strike this kind of deadly attack on our own country. We need a president who's going to step up and secure our entire country against dangerous threats like Hamas.
Gentlemen, I know you have to go. You've been on a busy tour there. Get home safely. But the governors of Texas and Oklahoma, respectively, Greg Abbott and Kevin Stitt. Gentlemen, thank you again.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.